what I made on Monday. And I was really impressed with it. It was super easy to make. The only thing that I realized about it was that if you cook it, then don't cook it as the least, as they say on the recipe, because it's a little bit, it's set in the middle. It's a little watery on top, and I don't really like water on top of my food. So if you ask me, I would, like, instead of, if it says like 10 minutes, cook it for like 3 more so you can get some of that liquid off the top. That turned out really great. I gave that like 3 out of 5 stars. It was a good side dish. And then I made something this week. It was by The Hungry Girl, and I've got to grab her cookbook here. This is what it came out of. Her under 300 calories cookbook. I made something called pizza burgers. Pizza burgers a la Hungry Girl is what it's called, and they were amazing. I give them 5 out of 5 stars, definitely. Great recipe. Great if you want a hamburger, great if you want a pizza. And they were only worth 5 points. They turned out amazing. You saw my chocolate cake. My husband loved it, and so did my family and friends. They gave that 5 out of 5 stars. And then I made something on Wednesday called General Tso's Chicken, and you're like, oh, you made Chinese, and I thought you were on a diet, but it was low fat. It was in Weight Watchers cookbook, and it was only worth 6 points. And I also gave that 5 out of 5 stars. And also, so the only thing that I would tell you this week that was a complete failure was something called pasta with shrimp scampi, and it's a Weight Watchers recipe. It was horrible. I wouldn't even give it a half a star. It was that bad. So 0 out of 5 stars on that dish, and I did not take a photo of it because it was so bad that I just chucked it. It was bland. It was tasteless. And if you're going to cook something and it says shrimp scampi on it, you expect it to have some type of buttery garlic flavor. It did not. I cooked it the way it said to. It took me about 15 minutes, and I was very satisfied with the whole thing. My daughter ate the shrimp out of the pasta, and that was about it. I ate the shrimp too, and that was all I really wanted from it. I paired it with a salad, and the salad was better than the whole thing combined. So yes, so anyways, that is this week's menu, and then next week I will come up probably on a Friday and tell you what I made that week, and what I liked and what we did not like about that the recipes that week. So anyways, we've got this pyramid thing here that I made up, and it's got something on there I want to talk about. So Hungry Girl is coming out with a new cookbook this year in October. She's coming out with something like 600 pages long for this cookbook, which I'm kind of excited about, but I'm a little nervous because it might be a little overwhelming. But if you don't have any of her Hungry Girl cookbooks, and you don't have the one that I have mentioned here a billion times already, that might be the one to get, because that is probably going to be a whole lot of her recipes from several of her books probably combined into one. It's called Hungry Girl to the Max, and it is really just it looks like a great little cookbook. I'm really excited to get it. So hopefully by the time October comes around, I can give you some sort of a small review on it. So anyways, that was one thing I was going to tell you. So a lot of people, when they start out on these eating plans, they have really high goals they set for themselves, and usually it's like, I want to lose 60 pounds. So the problem with that is when you say, I want to lose 60 pounds, I want to lose 60 pounds too. That's a big number, and I just don't think that if I thought about it like that, I could attain that goal. So what I'm trying to do is, I want to lose 10 pounds. Then I'm going to lose another 10 pounds. And then I'm going to lose another 10 pounds. And then so on and so on and so on until I get to my goal. And if you don't if you don't know how to get there, Weight Watchers is a good plan. Calorie Canyon is also another good plan. But you need to start figuring out a way to implement healthy eating habits into your lifestyle. So if that means you cook one healthy meal a day, and you have one healthy snack, and you just keep going from there. Another thing is, I hate to bring this up, but if you can somehow implement exercise into your regimen. I have not yet. I don't know where to fit it in at yet. I'm trying to figure that out. I did P90X for 2 months. So if you see this Tony Horton, you're the only reason I did P90X for 2 months, because he's very good looking to look at 7 o'clock in the morning. But I did not have amazing success with it because I was not on their eating plan. And I think that if you're on some type of diet or eating plan with an exercise routine, you'll probably get fast results a little bit easier than you would, say, if you were on an eating plan without exercising. Granted, I have been successful so far, but I figure that if I'm not exercising, that the weight will stall at some point. So I will tell you about what exercise regime I will get into by the time I start plateauing, and then by the time I can figure out when I can put it in my schedule. So anyways, it's not easy to implement new eating habits into your life, and it's not easy to implement exercise into your life, but just like with Weight Watchers, they say if you've done gardening, if you've walked around a block a couple of times, if you've done several different things, they've got a whole list of things that you can do that would be called activity points. Those are physical exercise. It gets you off the couch, it gets you doing something. So it's not such a bad thing to be outside doing something, especially this time of year. It's usually beautiful. It might be a little hot right now, but you're sweating, so that's not so bad. Change up your menu, like I said. These are wonderful. Get out cookbooks. Look at your stuff. Get online. Look at online stuff. Get out catalogs. They usually have, if you like buy Shape or any of those magazines, or even Cosmo. I was looking at Cosmo last night, and they had a healthy cookbook article right in front of you. These magazines always have some type of way to lose weight, way to do this, way to do that. There's 15,000 different ways to do this eating or this exercise. Look at these magazines. If you find a recipe in there you like, you know it's low fat, make it. And if you like it, then you can continue to make it, and you continue to make other healthy eating choices later on down the road, because you know that not all health food tastes like crap now. So find a new cookbook. And if you can't, Hungry Girl also has recipes on her website that you can download and print out for free. So if you can't buy one, you can always get online and get it for free. If you don't have a computer, find a friend, find a library, and you can print stuff out for basically nothing. If you are having a rough time, I've had a really difficult time being hungry. I'm hungry a lot, as a matter of fact. It seems like there are days when I just could probably eat my entire arm. It's hard not to go through the day and not want to eat a bag of potato chips like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. With that being said, find filling foods. I just found out, I did know that Subway had breakfast. I so knew this. But getting to Subway is difficult. Well, down the road for me, they opened a Subway. They only have 4 where I live, so they decided to open one down the road for me. So I was like, well, I'm going to try Subway for breakfast. So they have low-fat sandwiches. If you do not get egg and you get egg white, that really takes the calories out of your sandwich by a lot. And you can get egg white, and you can get some ham and some cheese and toast it up with a little salt and pepper on a piece of flatbread in the morning. It is wonderful. It is low fat, and it will keep you full till lunch. And if you pair it with like some yogurt or an apple or banana, that really does help things a lot. If you find filling foods that are worth nothing, I find that bananas are just wonderful. I eat bananas. I probably should not eat as many as I do, but I do eat lots of bananas a lot of the time because I'm hungry, and they actually satisfy me. They satisfy the sweet tooth that I have, and they satisfy me to the point where I can maneuver on throughout the rest of the day without having to struggle with not eating anything at all. So if you can find something that you like that's filling, that it's not worth a lot, like pudding or bananas, fruit, something like that. Vegetables, carrot, those little baby carrots that you get in the package, you can eat those. Believe it or not, mini wheats. Mini wheats are great. I love them. The little strawberry frosted ones are my favorite. I love those. Also, those little 100-calorie pack snacks. I know that they're not a lot in the package, but they are really good. They are a little satisfying if you want something a little salty. If you look into it, salsa is not worth hardly anything. I don't think it's actually worth anything at all. And if you buy the low-fat baked Tostito chips, I think it's worth like 4 points for all the salsa and like 16 chips. And that will give you a salt, the salt that you possibly want or need that day, and that will help a lot. When you cook a dish that you love, it's hard not to go back to that dish. You want to cook it over and over again. My husband loves Paula Deen. I'm going to plug you here. Spaghetti carbonara. She makes the best spaghetti carbonara. I know that they say Rachel Ray makes amazing spaghetti carbonara. Well, I don't believe it because Paula Deen is better. It's got bacon, bacon grease, bacon fat. If you can think about it and it's fattening, it's in there and it's wonderful. Find a recipe that emulates this but low fat. Or try to make it low fat on your own. Turkey bacon. Turkey bacon is wonderful. Wheat pasta is also great. You can implement these, and if you want to do, she asked for heavy cream. If you do like, if maybe half and half or something like that, if that could translate over to that dish, that might work out pretty well. It has that in there. If you can find things that you like in your and you can make it low fat, do it, because this will help you succeed. I find I like pizza sometimes. It depends on what kind. I'm really a cheese pizza person. I really don't like anything on my pizza, and maybe the most I'll ever put on pizza is either pepperoni or sausage. But you can make these little mini pizzas out of flatbread or wraps for hardly anything at all. You can get like a 90-calorie flat wrap. I like the flat out flatbread wraps. And you can put some pizza sauce on there, and you can put some cheese, like the string cheese, the low-fat string cheese or the Weight Watcher string cheese, and a little turkey pepperoni. Pop in the oven. In 10 minutes, you have yourself a little personal pizza that is worth hardly anything in points, and it's really good, and it's really satisfying, and it keeps you away from Domino's, Pizza Hut, any type of local pizza eatery that you like in your area. And it doesn't mean that you can't go get some of that pizza sometimes. It just means that it keeps you from wanting to eat the unhealthy pizza, even though it is amazing, unhealthy pizza all the time. Also, the biggest thing I have noticed is find someone who wants to do it with you. If you are doing something with somebody else, if you are doing this with somebody, it makes a world of difference. If they are with you and they've got your back, you've got yours, you talk each other through things, you call each other. It's fantastic. It's wonderful when you find somebody that will actually do things with you and can get you through these difficult times when you're actually having a really hard time. If you're struggling to lose the weight, if you're struggling through a plateau, if you're struggling being hungry, you can call them up and talk to them and see what they say. And you can be there for each other, basically. And if you know what, if your spouse wants to lose weight and he wants to do it with you, that's even better. My husband does it with me, and it has made my life a lot easier. He wants to eat the low-fat stuff with me. He gets involved, especially in the menu planning, like I talked about. He gets involved, and it helps a lot. So if you can find a friend or find your spouse getting into it with you, definitely do it like that, because it's not easy to be alone. And if you are alone, no one wants to do it with you, possibly if you can get online on Weight Watchers or whatever you want to do, they usually have community message boards. Those people really will give you a lot of stamina, a lot of encouragement in a very short amount of time, and they will point one who does not know you at all to tell you, no, you should not be doing this. You need to stay on the plan. You need to keep on track. You're doing just great. You've been doing great. I'm going to encourage you, but I'm also going to tell you, don't do this. Don't do that bad habit you've been doing. So those are my goals right now. Those are my set goals. I'm sure this will change. Through this whole month, things have really changed for me. I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I noticed I find other foods more attractive than I used to. I noticed that if I eat things that are heavier on my stomach, I don't feel as good the next day. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you later. Bye.